Welcome back.
NicknLex here.
Hey everyone.
How's it going, guys? So tonight we have a special request for one of our Dan members, Paul. Thank you so much, Paul, for this request. We're gonna do some Jackson Browne, correct?
Jackson Browne for the first time ever on the channel. This is a name that I've heard of, that I looked at his most popular songs on Spotify and I couldn't find any that I recognized by name or anything. So very excited. I know when it said like people also listen to, like Linda Ronstadt came up. So I'm very excited.
Okay, good. So we're in good hands.
Yes, exactly. So this will be totally new for us. You know, when we say that, we can't really say if we've heard these artists in the past. Maybe a song will come on that we're like, oh yeah, of course I know this. We just didn't know the name and artist. But
I think, I'm sorry to interject here for a second, but I think I've done Jackson Browne.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe one. Like if I look on this list, I'm sure I have because well, there's Joe Jackson, but I just want to like retract that because I do so much more music than Alexia. So I might have heard Jackson Browne like one or two songs maybe, but I wouldn't know which one because if you do, you know, 50 songs a week, it's kind of hard to remember. Yeah. I have to look at the list. So yeah, maybe I've done some, but definitely you haven't. Right. We haven't done a video together ever.
Yeah, no, I've never done Jackson Browne, and I really have no idea other than the fact that this is from the album Lawyers in Love, and it's 1983, I think it said. From Tender is the Night is the song that we're gonna do. Yeah. So
it's because all those marathons I was doing, like, you know, after we did the Linda Ronstadt, we got I got a lot of requests for the music with Nick. So I'm sure there must be some Jackson Browne in there. So
I'm sure.
Let me get that out there. Okay, well, I can't wait. I love the album cover. Somebody like rowing with their car.
I know, in the middle of like a
Florida.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that. Yeah, but this looks like you said, beautiful, like in the middle of like a city, lake, or river, and full moon. So let's get started and see what Mr. Browne has got to offer.
Yes. So what's the song? This one.
That
one. 1, 2, and thank you, Paul. There you go.
Thank you.
Between the darkness on the street and the houses filling up with light, between the stillness in my heart and the roar of the approaching night, somebody's calling after somebody. Somebody turns the corner out of sight, looking for somebody. Somewhere in the night, tender is the night, when you hold your baby tight. Tender, tender are the motions, tender is the night. Between the life that we expected and the way it's always been, I can't walk back in again after the way we fight. Just outside, there are people laughing, living lives we used to lead, chasing down the love they need. Somewhere in the night, tender is the night, and the benediction of the neon light. Tender, tender are the hunters, tender is the night. You're gonna another world at night when you're ready to be tender.
What do you think?
I love it.
Love it?
Yes. I mean, it reminds me obviously of so much that was going on. Like at that time, all of these artists that come up under.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like,
we
if you
put
know
like,
this.
if fans also like, and we got Dan Fogelberg, what I just did, and then Van Morrison, Boz Skaggs,
Don Henley, because
Pogo.
it does feel this sound is very 80s. It's got the keyboards.
Yeah.
It's got
Little River Band. It has like this, I guess it's like folk, but with an 80s touch. I think it's I like it.
Very like, I don't want to say soft, but very like
easy listen.
Easy listen. Exactly. This is something that like you have the T-tops down and you're turning it up and you know? Yes. So I really enjoy that sound. It's very familiar and just maybe I had never heard this song before because I hadn't. You know, sometimes I'll say, "Oh yeah, I've definitely heard this," but I have not heard this song before, but I have heard this sound.
Yes, me too.
You know? It's
just very, like you say, it's easy to get into, inviting. It's not too much. And I always, it's like an example that I use. It's kind of, I guess, funny, but if you would play it to a baby, they would be like, they would be smiling. Because if you would play, I don't know, like Judas Priest Painkiller to a baby, maybe they would be not as happy. You know, it's just music that for the ear, it's nice, you know.
I agree.
And it's not too complex, and you can, I think with this music, you can focus more on the lyrics and maybe like learn the chorus and sing along.
Yes.
And, you know, and it's not so much about the solo and about the virtuosity. I think that's great.
I agree. I think that this is the music of that time, and you guys probably have so many memories with these songs, and we love to hear them, so please share them. But thank you, Paul, for sharing a new artist with us. This is someone that I'm sure we're gonna...
He was literally missing amongst almost all of them that we know.
There were several there that we hadn't done, like, surprisingly, James Taylor, we haven't done together. And when I say we, I don't mean you. I mean like Nick and Lex together, because I don't know very much James Taylor, and I know him by name, but I don't know. I know his guitars, but you know, I can't tell you any songs that he's done. But this is great. I'm so happy.
It's very good. Well, James Taylor actually and Carole King, they used to like write together.
Oh, okay.
So I think I heard James Taylor because by accident I did a Carole King song.
The one that we ended up doing? Or the one that you did?
Well, we did another one, but I did a Carole King song, but the version was by James Taylor. So that was my James Taylor initiation. Okay. So I haven't done any more James Taylor, but I saw him. It's like, it has a similarity there. So
I could see that. But very good singing, very good. Everything's just good. The guitar is nice.
Yeah, it even reminded me of the Eagles, and I know that's kind of weird because the Eagles tend to get a little bit more adventurous, and I don't know their 80s sound that much. I know their 70s sound, which is very cool. Like, and it's very rock, I guess. Not very, but they have some good rock songs.
They do.
So so it reminded me a little bit of that too. But well, let's keep going.
Yes.
We have been talking forever, so thank you, Paul. Here we go.
Tender.
It was a good break though.
Tender. And in the hard light of an angry sun, no one remembers what was said or done. Tender are the words they choose. You win, I win, we lose. of the neon light. Tender, tender are the hunters, tender is the night when they hold each other tight. Tender, tender are the undercover, tender the stranger and the secret lover. Tender, tender are the motions, tender is the night when you hold your baby tight.
Classic.
Fade Out is a must.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Does it say 83?
Yes.
So this is one of those songs I'm sure that a lot of people had their first kiss, you know? I mean, right?
Or they were like on the skating rink, you know.
Something, because it reminds me even like of, remember in the show, This Is Us, the "You will be my bodyguard."
Oh, yes.
Da, da, da. You can call me out. It reminded me of that vibe. Very positive and very, and then the chords, dun, 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 dun. It's just a song that you can like easily remember. And I'm sure it was played on the radio.
Yes.
And even, I think, didn't Stand By Me came out in 83? Or was that in 87? Or I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. With movies, sometimes I'm bad, but it had like this vibe of like when you're kids and man. Like that movie is so good. When we were in, we just went to Oregon and we were like, oh God, it's like where these kids were walking. And we're like, Stand By Me was shot, like filmed. And yeah, really cool. I loved it. It has this really like vibe, like timeless.
I agree. Exactly. That's a perfect word to describe the song, because it does feel like, even though this was written I guess now, 40 years ago?
40 years ago.
Exactly, this year it feels like this could be the soundtrack to my life or
mine,
yours, or I don't know. You know, it feels like it can fit in any situation. It can be like, you know.
But it's just a very good song. Like all the instruments just sounded great. And like I said, it was not so much about showing off like how good they are. Yes. It was just about creating a song that's very accessible, and also like, yeah, we're gonna make this song, this is gonna be a hit on the radio. And I'm sure
it was the most played song of the album. So it, by far, Lawyers in Love being second, but it's got millions of views versus the other one's hundreds of thousands. So,
Paul knows his stuff.
Paul, this was a wonderful request. Thank you for being a Dan member. We look forward to other requests of the like in the coming months.
Paul is we had never seen him on the Familia tier or the Patreon. So thank you so much for going that extra mileage. It really helps us out a lot. The Dan tier is really like what keeps the channel going, and we can, you know, so thank you again.
Thank you.
But yeah, this was great. And also everyone that's watching, you know, thank you for being a subscriber and
for liking
and commenting and keeping. We just got to 60,000 yesterday, so very exciting times.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Please, like Nick said, continue to give likes, dislikes, comments, conversations. I love that you said if you had your first kiss to this, or if you, whatever your memory is of this, listening to it in the back seat of the car with your parents or something, you know, please share it with us, because we just love those stories, and we hope to see you all in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.